Today I'm going to show you guys how I made this graphic. Simple but efficient. Hey everyone, I'm going to show you how to make a graphic similar to this. But put my own twist on it, put some different things in that I could see that I would like on it. So let's get into it. We're going to open up some Photoshop to make a new file, and I like to make it double the size I like. So I like it to be it's going to be 1080 by 1350. We're going to export it out too. So I like to double the size, and then when I export it smaller, I think it keeps better quality of everything. That's just maybe my opinion, but all right. So then we're going to import our document and work from. Still want to make mine all the way to the full length here. But see, we have the character in 1,000 yards. See, I'm going to do a Amari Cooper who just recently has recorded 10,000 yards. So we're going to do something similar, but all right. So now I'm going to import the files we're going to use. So I'm going to import the files that we're going to use. We're going to do some work to them to cut them out and to work them. It's the first one I chose. And when you choose an image, you want to make sure that it's fairly large. Like I would search Mari Cooper. Spell his name wrong, but and then I'd go to search, I'd just go to advanced search, and then I'd make sure that the size was at least, I had to go 4 megapixels. And you see in most cases, you'll get a nice big image of them. And so when you cut it out and you do your effects to it, like this one's like 7,000 by 5,000, like that's really good. Anyways, make sure you get nice large images. There's many ways you can cut out. There's more than one way to skin a cat, always, you know. So if there's a problem, you just got to think of a solution and how to figure it out. For this one, we're just going to move the background. So we're going to copy it with Command J on a Mac. That's what I use. I'm going to unlock that here, select that here. And Photoshop's got great things that gives you a good starting point. So I'm just going to remove the background. And then if I see any defects or artifacts, I'll go in there and try to cut it out with the pen tool or the brush. And if you see that, it gets it pretty good, especially with larger images. And see, these are masks right here. It's probably the most important thing of Photoshop is your mask and learning masks. I'm not going to go into great detail of masks right now, but maybe I will make a video about that. But learning what basically a mask is, what it does, it just covers up something or allows something to come through depending on how you're using it. But right now I'm just going to select the brush tool. Just going to make it fairly hard. And so we're going to brush in kind of like what was lost there. Make sure you have black, or sorry, white. Turn up my flow a lot. I'm just wondering why. edge here. Actually, it was better without it, so. So basically just want to cut it out. Make sure your edges are as smooth as possible. I mean, most of the time you're not going to get a clean cutout like that, but. And then what you're going to do, I like to name it. Just so if you ever got a bunch of layers, you'll know what you're working with. Convert it to a smart object by right-clicking. And then you can add effects by Command-Shift-A. We'll bring up the raw camera for you, and here's where you get to like kind of like bring out some effects of the image. Usually I put up the shadows and the contrast. And then I'll go down in here into effects. And I usually mess with the clarity, kind of sharpens it up. And go back into the light. You can mess with exposure and different things like that to your liking. Just mess with these until you get something that looks, highly contrasted, like plenty of darks and the highlights are high. I mean, that's just how I do it. Like, all right. So now grab the selector tool up here. We're gonna Command C and we're Command V over to here and resize it to basically the size I'll be using. You'll see it's gonna be kind of like he'll be like kind of like in the background here. All right. We're gonna grab our second image, which was this catch here, where he's mossing someone. So I'm gonna Command J, copy the layer, unlock this layer here. Then we're gonna remove this subject. See, it's probably gonna get them both. Or selected it, which you can kind of see what's gonna be selected. Which I don't really normally just do it this way, but so you see there's gonna be a little bit of work we're gonna have to do to get this looking fairly good. Obviously he's missing fingers. So on our mask with the brush and the white color, which reveals on a black mask right there. Just gonna paint where his finger is. Till it's there. Now here, you can use a brush, but I'm gonna use the pen tool. I just find it to be a little faster. You can just use your brush tool with the black color selected here in the forefront. And you can just, work your way around it that way. Or you can use the pen tool, which is what I'm gonna do, and it's not always the easiest thing if you're not familiar with the pen tool, because there's like little curves and bends. It takes practice. I'm still not perfect with it. I'm a selective path by right clicking, make selection. Just I always do no feather, just what it is. And then you can go over here to the paint bucket with the black selected on the mask. Click the color. It'll just go in the area that you have selected. Command D to unselect. Like I said, it's not perfect, you know. You have to get in there with a brush and you can really fine detail it if need be. But just for this purposes, we're gonna go kind of quick, as quickly as I can. All right. I want to get a curve here. Spin your curves. All right. I want to look at the picture, see what we're missing. Now we're gonna make sure the white's there because we're gonna bring it back. This is this foot from the other side. Well, it's gonna be, you know, tedious and boring, but you wanna. I'm taking it away, so I have to make sure I'm on the black color. You can switch it back and forth by pressing X here, white and black. We'll switch this over here. Makes it easier to go back and forth between them. But yeah, I mean, most cases you're gonna take your time. You're gonna be really detailed. Make sure it looks nice, you know. I mean, that's shoelaces. We're not gonna go into that. I mean, you can if you want to. Just want to make sure your lines is, you know, as close as you possibly can and as good as you possibly can get it. And sometimes you can just, you know, kind of just make your own lines, just make it look human and realistic. Okay, after you cut out everything and you think you got it looking the way that you'd like, you're gonna name the image, and then from there you're gonna convert it to a smart object. Then we're gonna Command-Shift-A, and we're gonna bring up the raw camera, and here's where you're gonna make some effects to it. Bring up the shadows, contrast it. You have to bring the darks out. Now we're gonna go to the effects. I like to bring up the clarity practically all the way. Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna Command-C, go to our original document, Command-V and paste it. Command-T, Option and your wheel will scroll in and out here, but we're going to size this down to practically the size that you see Chubba Hubbard running here behind Cooper. And all right. Just like to get that centered there on the canvas. All right. Now we're gonna make our background. So we're gonna click on this color here, this icon here. We're gonna go up to solid color. Make sure that it's white. I like to go actually a little off-white, so we're gonna drop it down a little. And then from there, we can hide these layers. See, these are the eyes. You can hide or show. But I'm gonna make a background here, so I kind of want these off for a second. I'm gonna apply, place embedded. You have like an overlay, kind of like a shadow, kind of like a grudge image. You know, it's kind of like gonna give it like a vignette, but add some texture to the background of the image here. I'll show you. Let's get this to the size. I'm gonna go over here, go to screen. Find one that looks pretty good. I like this one, kind of gets some crunch to it. And then we're gonna drop down the opacity. We want to barely be on there. Just give it a little bit of touch there. All right. Now for this, I'm gonna go back into the raw camera here. You can drop it down with this arrow. And since it's a smart object, you can do and apply filters and effects to it without it really damaging the original image. So you can always go back to the original and start again if you want to fix something or try something different. So we're gonna go back into here. Oops. And go to the color. And I'm just gonna drop the saturation for that. We're just gonna make it black and white. And then we're gonna go into our blending modes here. And we're gonna find one that kind of makes it look like it's almost like drawn on there, or a little. Now here we're going to apply a mask. Down here is your mask. You're going to add a mask to it. Make sure the mask is selected. Make sure your black is on. Well, here we're going to go to gradient tool. And up here we're going to select the basics, and we're going to go from a black to nothing. That's what the transparent. And what we're going to do is we're going to blend that with this, and it'll make it disappear. Kind of like that. We're going to do it till it's just right where it don't look, too crazy. Like it's like a blatant cutoff. Just kind of looks faded on there, nice and smooth. Then I'm actually going to drop the opacity a little bit. And I might actually increase the size of him for a minute. See where I miss. Go right close. That looks good to me. We're gonna bring on the catch. See how it goes together with it. Now here's where I'm gonna add a gradient map to kind of get like all the colors like together. So I'm gonna make sure I get just a black and white. And I'm gonna apply it down here in the blend modes. And I usually have to try overlay first. But I need to add some darkness to it. So I'm gonna go to just darken color, looks good to me. And then we're gonna drop the opacity of that. So now the black and whites are pretty similar in the same range. All right, now we can add some shadow to here, give it some real effect here. So below these two, and what I like to do once I get like my background, if I don't know, if I'm not going to put anything else onto it, I'll group them together, select both of them with the shift key. And then you can command G and it'll put them in a folder, and I just call that BG. It's my background. So then we're going to, this is a new layer. You click this, it'll create a new layer for you. Where you get a brush tool by pressing B, or you can select it over here. We're going to enlarge it. If you right click again, it'll bring up these options for you. We're going to set it to like this, so it's almost like ground level. Now we're going to go to no hardness at all. We're going to go up to our flow. We're going to drop that down to maybe 15, 13. And I'll start it where their feet are, and then I'll kind of work my way out that way. Make sure we got the black color selected. And we'll now call that shadow. Yeah, I'll select these with Shift, and then select, right click, and I'll link these layers. So then my shadow's now linked if I move that around. I actually didn't need it to be linked with the, so I'll unlink that one. There we go. So now I'll be linked with that. I'll actually get a little more errors in that also. So unlink this real quick. There you go. All right. I'll even try to blend this a little better. See if I can. Gotta put a mask on it. Get a gradient. Black to transparent. See if we can make that softer. Try to drop the opacity down a little. Try to blend it a little nicer. There you go. And these lines even kind of worked for us here. All right. Now from there, we'll go on to the text. See if we can get some good text in here. Look, thinking maybe red because it sounds like it's like alert, you know. Let me link these two back again. Okay. So now we can add a text layer. We're gonna put that in between the up close shot of them and the action shot here in the front. So we're gonna hit T on our keyboards, or you can select it over here on the side. And I'm gonna put 10,000. And we're gonna Command T. We're gonna scale that up. And I have the Metropolis character or the font here selected. I'm sure if you just Google it, I think I got it for free somewhere. But I'm going to make this nice and bold. Maybe even make it taller. Maybe pull this down a little. Okay. Not sure if I like that font. That's what's taking me a minute. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot better. Something a lot bolder and stands out a lot more. That's what I'm looking for. Maybe make this a little taller. We'll see. All right, That's something more I was looking for. Now we can, I'm gonna add a little bit more font. Some do. Oops. Career. Receive it. Should have fit smaller in this, better in this area here. I'm just gonna change this to black. Okay, so next, I'm gonna add in his name. So I'm gonna grab our text tool again. I'm gonna make 2 layers for his name instead of putting it on one. Just kind of align it, make sure they line up. Kind of gives it cohesiveness. I'm gonna move him over a little bit. Grab these 2 layers per second. Make it up a little higher. Okay, next I wanted to maybe make these be like a lighter gray. I want to bring in his autograph, maybe behind his name here. I'm gonna try it first, see what happens. And you can just search his autograph, and then you just cut out the picture, and you can make another video for that if you guys like it. If you want to, I can. But we'll put that behind the writing. And we're gonna knock these opacity down to these, or not. Maybe to the autograph too. There we go. I'll make the words a little darker. And a lot of it is just to keep adjusting until it's something that you like, that you think looks decent, you know. Okay, so next we're gonna kind of bring out the highlights in the player, make them kind of pop out, make it like it's like shiny effect. So we're gonna go to the players here in the front, and down here we're gonna add an exposure layer. Like I said, there's more than one way to do something. This is just how I found it to be to work for me. With this button right here, you can make it go. You'll click this right here, and it'll go to just this player, to just the front image here. All right, we're gonna raise the exposure pretty high, so it stands out when we do what we're gonna do. Okay, now we're gonna click this after we're done that. Make sure we're clicking this mask, and we're gonna Command I, which is gonna invert it. We're gonna take our brush tool. We're gonna knock that flow down a little, maybe like 20%. Right around there. We're gonna see how this does. Now, we're with the brush tool, wherever the highlights that we think should shine out, we're gonna make it pop there, you know, like right here. Okay, we're gonna make that shine out, maybe like, obviously I'm here. And you see, you know, it's not a lot, it's just something subtle. But it'll go a lot longer if you do it, make it stand out. So down here on this jersey, you know, wherever there's light, you know, make it pop. All right, it's gonna be good for this example here. I mean, you want to spend your time on it. You want to take good time on it, make sure it looks nice, and it's looking pretty good to me. And that's what it is. If it looks good to you, it's good, you know. All right. So the next thing I'm gonna do is maybe add a curve to the whole thing. So down under here, our adjustment layers, we're gonna go to our curves. And here I'm gonna try to click here, see if I can make the shadows like dark, but not so dark you can't, you know, see the image anymore. And then bring out the whites. Okay, I like that. Now we're gonna see if we can get some colors up out of here. And then might be a little bit much. Maybe we can. All right. Down to adjustment layers, we have selective color. We'll try to make this red really stand out. Maybe we can make blues. And the clear receiving areas, I just know I'm going to take down that. I'm going to make that be like a. I'm going to be the same color. All right. At our selective layers. I'm going to add another gradient map. And these I've made over time, but it's just you can, instead of having black and white on one, I would do like the teal and orange effect. Try to see if I can draw those on the images, see which type of teal works better, you know? Which orange works better. And so I have a couple different ones, but you're going to throw on something like that if you want. Go down to your blending modes. I usually like to do lightened or screened actually, but color dodge was looking good. Overlay's not looking bad at all. Because it's like that worn effect. Actually kind of liking that. What I'm going to do is drop down the opacity just a bit. You don't want it to you want to just give it a hint, you know? You don't want it to overpower. All right. Now the last thing I would do is put on the logo here for the built-in buffalo. All right. And I mean, you could even throw even like some more stuff over to give it like a more textured look if you want, more of a grunge look or whatnot. But this is kind of simple and to the point, but you know, I think it looks pretty good. Career achievement of 10,000 yards. Go Mari Cooper. Go Bills.